Hello, kids. Today, I am going to tell you a story about the boy and the magical vendor. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a curious boy named Tom. Tom loved to explore the world around him. Every morning, after finishing his chores, he would wander through the fields, chase butterflies, and ask 100 questions about everything he saw. One hot afternoon, while returning from the forest, Tom noticed a bright-colored cart at the edge of the marketplace. It wasn't an ordinary cart. Its wheels sparkled like gold, and the top of the cart shimmered with tiny lights, even though the sun was still shining. Above the cart was a sign that read, "The Magical Vendor, Wishes for Sale." Tom's eyes grew wide. He had heard stories of magicians and fairy godmothers, but never about a vendor selling wishes. He stepped closer, and an old man with kind eyes and a long silver beard smiled at him. "Welcome, young traveler," said the vendor. "Would you like to buy a wish?" Tom hesitated. "But I don't have much money. How can I buy a wish?" The vendor chuckled. "Not all wishes are bought with coins. Some are bought with kindness, courage, or honesty." He pulled out a wooden box from his cart and opened it. Inside were tiny glass bottles, each glowing with a different color. "This one," the vendor explained, holding up a blue bottle, "is a wish for knowledge. Drink it, and you will understand the secrets of books and the stars. This one," he said, lifting a green bottle, "is a wish for courage. With it, you will fear nothing. And this golden one," the vendor whispered, "is a wish for happiness, enough to share with others." Tom's heart leaped with excitement. He wanted them all. But then he remembered what the vendor said, that wishes weren't always bought with money. The vendor leaned closer. "You may choose one wish, Tom. But remember, the power of a wish depends on how you use it." Tom thought for a long time. At first, he wanted courage, so he could explore the forest without fear. Then he thought of knowledge, so he could answer all his questions. But finally, he chose the golden bottle of happiness. The vendor smiled knowingly. A wise choice. But before handing it over, he said, "To earn this wish, you must perform a task. Bring joy to someone who has forgotten how to smile. Only then will the bottle truly work for you." Tom nodded and set off into the village. He wondered who needed joy the most. He passed the bakery, where the baker was busy making sweets. She was smiling. He passed the tailor, who hummed as she sewed. Finally, at the end of the street, he saw an old woman sitting alone by her house. Her face was sad, and her eyes looked tired. Tom remembered that she had lost her family long ago. Tom thought hard. Then he sat beside her and began telling her funny stories about his adventures, about the time he slipped into a muddy pond chasing a frog, and about the goat who stole mangoes from his basket. Slowly, the old woman's lips curved into a smile. Then she laughed, a deep, happy laugh she hadn't felt in years. Tom's heart filled with warmth. At that moment, the golden bottle in his pocket began to glow brighter. He realized he'd completed the task. He rushed back to the vendor, who was waiting with a twinkle in his eyes. "Well done, Tom. You brought joy to another heart, and in doing so, you earned your wish." The vendor handed him the golden bottle. "But remember, real happiness is not in bottles. It is in the kindness you share. This bottle will only remind you of what you already carry within." Tom thanked the vendor and promised to use his happiness to help others. When he turned around to look again, the magical cart had vanished, leaving only the faint sparkle of golden dust in the air. From that day on, Tom was known as the boy who spread joy wherever he went. He never forgot the magical vendor, but more importantly, he never forgot the lesson. True magic lies in giving happiness to others. And so, the boy's simple act of kindness turned his whole life into an adventure filled with love, laughter, and joy. So kids, that's all for today. If you like our story, please press subscribe or the bell icon. See you next time with another story.